Hey guys, and welcome back to A Kinda Crafty Kenzie. I am Kenzie, and today I have so many gorgeous rustic farmhouse DIYs, Christmas DIYs to share with you. So this is a little bit of a longer video, so get yourself something warm to drink, a fuzzy blanket, get nuzzled in, and so we are going to start off today with these two trees. Now my husband did kind of help with this project a good bit. This was actually like an old shelf tier tray style thing that we had in our bedroom, but then when we kind of like made it over, it was too big. So we tore it apart, and he just kind of assembled two tree base stands for me. As you can see, like we had the base, and then it had like what's going to be like the stem. And then the parts of the tree that you'll see here in a little bit were actually like the slats in the bottom of the shelf. But anyways, so what I'm doing is I'm just covering the base of the tree completely with truffle chalk paint. And then I am kind of like just sporadically painting like the stems of the tree. As you can see, they've already painted white, so I didn't really want to get full coverage over them. Now, these are the slats, like the bottom of the shelf that I was telling you about. And this is going to be like the actual like tree itself. So first I was going to go ahead and just do the English ivy green over the gray, because obviously the shelf was originally gray. But then I decided that I wanted to have that really rustic-y look. So I wanted to go ahead over it with truffle and then go over that with the English ivy and get like a really rustic-y kind of distressy look. You see what I mean? So after the English ivy dries, it gets a lot darker, and I think that the colors just really went well together. So I just went ahead and painted all of the slats for both trees, and then I just attached them with my my brad gun. I used my brad gun and just went ahead and attached them.
In a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire, 'cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy. Loving so beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend.
So after I got those all attached, I went ahead and pounded in the nails, and then I just dry brushed over the entire trees with just a little bit of like the white chalk paint.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe, and I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree.
So I decided they needed a little something more, but I didn't really want to do a whole lot to them. I didn't want to take away from like the color or the rustic look. So I just took some of this really pretty, like almost like a really dark red Christmas ribbon that I actually purchased at, I think I got this at Dollar General a while back, probably like still back in October and November. And I just made a little bow and put them at the top of both of the trees, and it just gave like that nice like combination of Christmas colors. I don't really like a super bright green or like a super bright red. I really love like a hunter green, like this English ivy, and then like this ribbon, like that dark red, like this, like I love like this color red. So that's what I did for both of these. And I went ahead and kept the tails on the bows long to kind of trail down the trees because they stand decently tall. So I think these turned out really nice, and they were so simple to do, and I think that the colors just completely complement each other. Then I went ahead, because you guys know me and pine cones, I just went ahead and attached 2 pine cones to kind of help cover up like that little bit of jute twine that I use on my cheap bows. So and then I decided like I wanted to do like a tree not like a Christmas tree farm, but like a little like gathering of trees, and they all be like different colors and stuff. But it didn't work out with these trees, but it did work out later. You will see coming up. So for this one, I just decided to use this Dollar Tree tree skirt, and it is in like the red and black buffalo plaid, as you can see. And I just went ahead and traced the tree onto the skirt fabric part with a Sharpie, and then cut it out and just hot glued it on. I did just do like little bits at a time, that way the glue didn't dry before I had a chance to lay down the fabric.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself, in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me.
So for this next one, I just basically did the same exact thing. I just used a different tree skirt from the Dollar Tree in a different shape tree. This one has like a little star at the top, and it's like a really pretty burlap with like some red snowflakes. You can see it. But anyways, I just did the same thing. Just traced it with a Sharpie and then attached it to the tree.
Every window shines a light. Somewhere in the distance, drums are calling, but no one heeds their call tonight.
So then I just decided to go ahead and take a black Sharpie and just kind of go around the edges of the burlap. This was my way of kind of like hiding any of a little bit of the wood that was shining through, and then I thought it gave it like a little bit of a rustic-y look. So this tree came all the way to me from Wisconsin. I actually have family out there, and they were gracious enough to pick a couple of these up for me and send them to me because I was never able to find them here in my stores in PA. So thank you so much, you guys. You're the best. So then I just went ahead and covered it in white chalk paint, and then I used one of these bases off of the trucks with like the tree in the back from the Dollar General. The truck had actually fallen off, and I just decided to repurpose the base. So I just covered it in my Java color chalk paint from Folk Art, and then of course I gave it some rustic distressing with some white chalk paint. Then I did something a little bit different. I went around the tree with some black and kind of distressed it in black. This isn't normally something that I do. I do like the enamel look with like the worn out white, you know, the white enamel and then the black shines through. I do like that look for some of my kitchen decor, but I don't normally distress with black, but I wanted it to match the black and red buffalo check trees. So that's what I did for this one, and I thought it turned out pretty good. I kind of like it. It's definitely a different color for me, and as much as I like it, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's like it's different. So it takes a little bit of time for me to get used to this color, but my bedroom for the winter is actually done in plaid and buffalo checks like this. So I actually placed this piece in my bedroom, and it looks amazing. So yeah, it worked out for the best. Then I took this little tree ornament that I got from Target's Dollar Spot. It came in a box of like a couple of different ornaments for like $5, I believe. I just gave it a little bit of a rustic, because, you know, kind of took the black around the edge so it matched the tree, and it said Noel in black, so it matched really well. And then I just went ahead and used some of my tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree and helped my tree kind of brace itself up on the platform that I made for it.
child is born anew. Christmas.
Then I just did the same thing for my 2 red and black buffalo check trees. I just spaced them up with some more tumbling towers. Now you only saw me make 1, but I made 2. I didn't think you needed to see me make 2 identical trees. So I just did the same thing with these, and then I just went ahead and attached them to the base with the big white tree.
Again, true.
So I decided that my white tree needed a little something more. So I just took some black buttons and I went ahead and attached them to the tree. I laid them down first to make sure they were spaced like where I wanted them. I'm really OCD and like have a super symmetrical brain, so I had to make sure they were like nice and spaced evenly and look good. So after I liked where they were, I just went ahead and hot glued them down, and then I added 2 little burlap bows to the top of the red and black ones. So I'm sure you guys knew this, and if not, now you do, that these cute little trees and Santa huts and snowmen, and back in the fall they had acorns and pumpkins and etc. They are attached like this just with glue. So all you have to do is take a heat gun, and it takes a few minutes, and they come apart. I mean, you can sit there and pry them apart, but they can break and you could hurt yourself. So I just use a heat gun and they come apart way easier. So I just did that because I love the shape of these trees, but I don't really like the little box thing. I don't really have a purpose for it. So I just went ahead and just disassembled them. And then as you can see, I painted them red. This is actually Imperial from Folk Art and I absolutely love it. It is so, so pretty. Then I attached these white buttons to these trees after I went ahead and distressed them with some white chalk paint. And then I just added some little burlap bows to tie them together. Then I just took a, what do you call those? A dowel rod from the Dollar Tree. Those are super, super cheap. You get quite a few in a pack for $1, obviously. I use them so much. And they're really long, so normally you can cut them in half and then go even further. But I just took those, painted them white, and then went ahead and attached them to the tree. I have these little buckets sitting here that I was originally planning to put these trees in, but it just did not work out. They kept tumbling over and they were like top heavy. So then I just went ahead and attached them to a little stand that, as you can see, I'm drilling a hole for the little dowel rod to fit down into, and this worked out absolutely perfect.
Shine on, Christmas star. Shine on, Christmas star. Shine on.
So now I am going to go ahead and make my little tree village that I was going to originally make with the previous trees. Now my husband did cut these triangle wood pieces for me. He doesn't really let me use the saw very much, so he likes to be helpful in all my projects anyway. So he cut this for me, and I got this gorgeous packet of a scrap of paper from a Hobby Lobby on an amazing Black Friday sale. I don't know if you guys were able to take advantage of that sale. Oh my goodness. Between Hobby Lobby and Joann Fabrics, you guys, I went crazy. It was awesome. The sales were amazing. So anyways, the colors in this packet that I got are they're just perfect. They tie into my decor just amazingly. I was so excited to get them. I've never been so excited over scrap paper in my life. So I picked out 4, and it was really difficult to pick just 4, but I picked out 4 pieces of scrap paper that I thought tied in well together and that were very different at the same time. And then I just went ahead and attached traced them out obviously, and then attached them to the wooden tree with Mod Podge. Now I like to Mod Podge on my paper, on my wood, put my paper down, let it set for like 10 minutes, then go back and Mod Podge over the paper, and then I let that sit and completely dry, and then I take sandpaper and go along the edges to get rid of any excess, and then that kind of just, I don't know, it blends the edge of the paper into the wood just perfectly. I went ahead and painted these little stands that I'm going to attach them to, like I did with the red trees in the previous clip. You'll see the white tumbling towers there that I was originally thought I was going to be able to glue them to these little blocks, but again, they were top heavy. So once my husband got home, I got his drill off of him, and I went ahead and just drilled holes to put the dowel rod into, like I did in the previous clip with those trees. Then I used some of these cute little like palette style crates from the Dollar Tree, and I went over them with my truffle chalk paint. I didn't worry about getting perfectly good coverage over them because I wanted them to look nice and rustic and distressed. So I went over them decently, but I definitely did not like do like a full coverage. I kind of just, got the gist of it. Then, like I said, I got my drill from my husband, and then I went ahead and drilled holes into the little blocks. Now, these blocks my husband had cut for something previous in a project years ago and ended up never using them. So I didn't get them from anywhere. They're just something that we've had scrap that I've just been lucky enough to have and just use a lot. I'm going to miss them when I use them all up. Then I just took these two little crates and glued them together to make it look like one big crate, and then I just dry brushed over them with some white chalk paint to distress. Then I took one of these wooden planks from the Dollar Tree. You get like 6 of these in a pack for $1. I'm obsessed with these. I keep these on hand at all the time. They come in handy so often. I just cut it with my knife and then sanded it down. I painted it with Waverly's cashew color chalk paint. I didn't want it stark white. So then I just took some of these stencils that I recently picked up from Dollar General. They're awesome. I think this only cost a little over $2 for this packet, and they're 4, and they're like a whole bunch of different words. So as you can see, I chose the word believe, and I was excited that I didn't have to stencil that out one by one. But then I just distressed over the cashew with some more truffle, and then I took my white colored pencil and traced the stencil, and then I went back in with my white paint marker paint pen that I got from Amazon that is always linked in the description box below. This is my fine point chalk. No, not chalk. What's the word? Paint marker. There we go. This is my fine tip one that I use for like really intricate little areas like this. They come in really handy. I really love being able to stencil like this. A Cricut is definitely on my Christmas list, you guys, but until then, I'm stenciling away. So anyways, I think this is super adorable. It turned out really nice. Then I happen to have a just like a little tree print out from Google. I literally just Googled like bears and deer and stuff that I've been using in a lot of my decor, and I got this little tiny tree, and then I just traced it and kind of just squiggled little lines on it, and I think it turned out pretty cute. So I went ahead and just attached my little sign to the crate with some hot glue. Super, super easy. Then I wanted to place my trees in kind of so they were kind of wonky looking. I definitely did not want them the same length or anything like that. So all of my dowel rods I cut at different lengths, and even after like I tested them how I wanted them to be, I went in and I shortened a couple, switched a couple around, and then I just glued them, as you can see, like front back, so that they would be like in a different position. So I didn't want you to be able to see like the inside of the crate because I didn't paint it, and I didn't want you to see, like, you know, all the behind the scenes stuff. So I just took some of this faux snow, turned it inside out because I don't really like all the sparkles, and then I just tucked it down in there. I got it from the Dollar General, but it's $1, just like at the Dollar Tree. It's actually identical. Then I just took this teeny tiny piece of garland. This is all I have left, you guys. I've used 5 packets of garland from the Dollar Tree, and I've used every inch of the garland, so that's a win. No waste and no leftover. Used it all. And then I just took some twine and tied some little bows. I went every other tree, like one tree I did at the top, one tree I did down at the bottom on the dial rod, and I cannot wait for you to see the finished products. So now I'm going to go ahead with one of these bigger signs from the Dollar Tree, and I just flipped it over because I'm not messing with all that glitter. And this was my first time using the cashew in Waverly, so I kind of did a little bit of a test there at first to see if I was going to like it, if it's like the color I was looking for this project. That's why there was some paint already on the back of it. And then I just went ahead and gave it a good full coverage on the back. I only did one coat because I did put stickers down, so I wasn't worried about it being, like, you know, super perfect. Then I just took some of these super jumbo craft sticks that I got from Walmart, and I just covered them with my truffle chalk paint. So I cut the little round tips off of the craft stick and then sanded that down so that it was nice and smooth. And then I just went in like an inch and a half from the edge of the sign, and then attached the craft sticks to the sign with hot glue. Then I just went around on the sign and where it's painted cashew, the lighter color, I just distressed it with some truffle, and then I went in through like the body of the sign. So I got these stickers from Dollar General. They were only $1, and I got them so far back, probably at the end of October, that I actually had forgotten about them. So when I came across them the other day, I was super excited and remembered that I wanted to do something like this with these. And so here we are. What I love about these is they're actual stickers. So you don't have to Mod Podge them down like you do the window clings. So I just stick them on, and then as you can see, you can still pick them up and move them if you don't exactly like where they are. And then I just Mod Podge over top of them once I was satisfied with where they were at. When I make signs like this, I like to Mod Podge over the entire thing because you can definitely see a contrast on where you had Mod Podged over top of stickers or decals or etc., and then where it is not. So I made sure that I had everything painted how I wanted it before I Mod Podged. So as you can see, I took the cashew paint and went ahead over those craft sticks that I had painted in the truffle brown. My husband actually didn't think I had painted those. He asked me if I painted them or if they were, something that I had gotten. And I said, no, I painted those, and I will take that as a compliment. So then I just took some jute twine and I went ahead and just stuck it through the original holes of the sign and just tied a little knot to give it that nice, like, little rustic-y look for the hanger. I absolutely love tying my things like this to where I can put that knot in the front. And you guys, I am loving crafting with buttons. This has to be my aunt in me, I guess you could say. She's a huge crafter as well and does gorgeous work, and she always uses buttons. So that must be where I get it. Like, I just must be a button lover from her. But I think just a little touch of a button can do so much to something, and I think this turned out so cute with these little buttons. Then, as you can see, I have some nautical rope laying there. It's from Dollar General, but it's not the thicker one. It's like this little smaller one, but it's not as small as jute twine. Are you with me here? You know what I'm saying. You've seen it. So I created little faux handles out of this, and we actually did this with a cabinet in our dining room, and I absolutely love it. So I thought this was so cute and ties in well with my decor that I already have in my home. So I really, really love the way the sign turned out. I think it is so sweet and so adorable. And you guys already know this wouldn't be a Kinda Crafty Kenzie video without a bow. I love bows. I don't know what it is. I love bows. And I have never made a bow up until a couple months ago. And now all of a sudden, I just put bows on everything, whether I make them or not. So I just took some of this kind of like faux burlappy, kind of not, you see what I mean. It's like a really pretty khaki color. It matched perfectly. I just made a bow out of it. I got this from the Dollar General, I believe, a couple months ago, and I just went ahead and attached it to the top, so that way when you hang it, it has a pretty little bow above your hook, so the entire sign is adorable. So I am so excited about this, and yep, you see me attaching one more button to it. So now I'm using one of these plain wood Christmas bulbs from the Dollar Tree, of course. And I decided to, instead of using my Waverly wax, I wanted something a little bit different. So I took a little bit of water and a little bit of truffle chalk paint, and I made like a stain. And I might have got the same look with the wax, but I don't know. I thought maybe it would be different. And I think it's a little bit lighter. You guys will have to let me know. But I just wanted to try it. So this did saturate the wood a little bit more than I would have liked. Definitely more than it would have with just paint, because I was also using water. So I took my heat gun to it pretty heavily, but it still did bow a little bit. So my advice would be to either attach it to something prior to doing that, or maybe do both sides. I'm not quite sure. But I think it turned out really good. I love how you can kind of see like the wood in it still. I think it's really pretty. Then I just took a ruler, as you can see, and a brown color pencil. Words are escaping me, you guys. A brown color pencil, and I just drew some faux shiplap. I went over it pretty heavy because I wanted them to be pretty bold looking. Plus, the colors blended really, really well. So I had to go over them a little heavier so that you would actually be able to see the lines. Then I went ahead and sanded it. It didn't really lighten up my lines a whole lot, but that was okay because I wanted them pretty bold. But I do like how it like lightened up the edges. And I'm sorry that my camera shakes, you guys. I had it my tripod attached to my table that I was working on at the time. So then I just took a little bit of garland. I know I said I used it all, but this project actually came before the other one. So I took a little bit of garland from Dollar Tree and I just doubled it up so that it kind of thickened itself. You know what I mean? It was a little thicker looking. And then I just, as you can see, I'm making a little wreath for it. And then I just took some of these berries that I picked off of another twig or a pick or something that I have. I don't know, you guys, I have used like all of my picks. I've used like all of my everything. Like I have literally used up everything that I bought. Like my husband was like, you're never gonna use all that, the whole big basket that I had in the beginning, and I literally have used it all. So I didn't waste anything. And then of course I have to tie in some pine cones, guys. So then I have so much of the truck off these decals already that I did not want to use any of the truck, but I love the snowflakes. So I just went ahead and took some of the snowflakes off of there. And of course I had to strategically place each and every one of those decals before I Mod Podged them down.
When the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost came to a stop, but somehow
So I went ahead and Mod Podged over the entire Christmas bulb, and then I just attached my little wreath. Then I went ahead and attached the bow to the bulb, but like a ding dong, I put it right over top of the hole, which then I didn't have a way to hang it. So after I added that little button, I decided I needed to make a hanger. So I picked this really, really cool jute twine. I don't even know what they call it, jute cord, whatever. Up from the Dollar General over the weekend. I thought it was a really, really good deal because you see the 4 colors and white and black are included, and you get all of that for $1. So like anytime you want to use like white and black, but you don't want like an abundance of it, this is perfect. So plus this is nice and thin, so it's perfect for stringing beaded garland like this because you don't have to fight with like tape on the end of the twine or glue or it fraying or getting stuck, you know, etc. So this was perfect. I did tie like a triple or quadruple knot because it was thinner and I didn't want my beads to fall off. Not that they would because I glued it to the sign, but you know what I mean. So then I just went over the natural beads with some white chalk paint to just give them a little bit of color. I don't know about you guys, but every time I do this with white chalk paint over natural beads, it makes me think of a powdered donut. I don't know why, it's so weird. But then I went ahead and just attached it to the back of the bulb with some hot glue and a little piece of popsicle stick to secure it. So this last project is definitely the most simple. I just took one of these boxes from this 3-pack that you get from the Dollar Tree. I was pleasantly surprised when I opened the box up and saw that the edges were in this red and black buffalo check. So I was very ginger about how I took it apart and made sure I didn't cut it. You know, I was going to recycle it. I was going to go ahead and use it as the frame for the truck, but once I saw it all together, I didn't care for it. So I took these jumbo size craft sticks from Amazon that are linked below, and I used the rest of my little homemade stain that you saw my daughter playing with there a little bit ago, and I just used it up and went ahead and painted these craft sticks. They fit really good except for on the top. You can see that I had to kind of like cut and finagle a little bit, which once they're attached and I distress them with some white chalk paint, you don't really notice that much. But then I just attached a little piece of nautical rope from the Dollar Tree to the back of the sign with a hunk of craft stick from leftover and some hot glue. I like to put a craft stick on top of it for security. And then after I distress the edges with some white chalk paint, this guy is all done.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little present shop when the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost came to a stop. But somehow I knew, and maybe so did you, that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas
woke up this morning, I looked outside my window where children lighting up the Christmas tree, and the snow is falling. It reminds me of the good times.
I want to thank you guys for coming along with me today. I had so much fun making these decor pieces. I absolutely love crafting, and I could do it all day, every day. But my house and my children and my laundry just won't let me do that. So anyways, I hope this video gave you guys some inspiration, and whatever you decide to create, please tag me over on Instagram. My handle is in the description box as always. I love seeing what everyone comes up with. If you're not already subscribed, I hope you consider subscribing to my channel and joining my YouTube family. My channel is all about everything crafting, DIY, home decor, and some Dollar Tree hauls, of course. If you like videos like this, don't forget to smash that like button before you leave, and let me know which project was your favorite. I always like to hear other people's opinion and see who tends to gravitate towards which project. I hope you guys have a great day and a great week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
This time I'm here to stay. I'm coming home for Christmas. Yes, I'm coming